down a couple hard laps to get some space between them and James. We'll see how he comes off the concrete this time.
Looked like they were kind of icing the kicker there, holding the starting gate for quite a while. I already see Nathan Ramsey with a great start on the 4-stroke Honda.
Now it looks like a gaggle of 4-strokes there in front of him. Probably 8 bikes back is James Stewart. So he's going to have to put in a little bit of work, but we know he works quick. Look at him right to the middle there.
Nathan Ramsey, rider number 25 out of California, takes the inside line, and he has James Stewart hot on his tail. Stewart, oh,
Hurley goes down, and looks like he's got Bobby Canary from New York there in his back, and the Lowe's tangled up in that as well.
Daryl Hurley's going to have to work his way up through several riders. That first turn is very decisive. It's different than they've been used to in years past. They have switched the track. It is now going backwards in the conventional way. James Stewart in third spot. They're all chasing. Oh, now make that second spot. He's trying to get by Nathan Ramsey, and there's Josh Grant again with another good start in second.
Josh is in the mix with 3 guys that really did well in Supercross, and not surprising to, they've been doing great in outdoors as well, but this is more a Supercross track. You see James Stewart up there, you see Tedesco up there, and Nate Ramsey, so all of them looking to get, a little outside move.
It made it look so easy going by the outside. Nathan had to go, where in the heck did that come from? You talk about the Supercross town out there. Those riders won every Supercross year except for little Hanny, Josh Hansen. Every one of them.
That's a pretty amazing stat. You see that triple right there? That's one where we saw Josh Grant go for the jump in the first moto on the first lap and give himself a little bit of whiplash, and he's not doing it now, and he might have had an opportunity to step up in front of Nate Ramsey had he done it.
Track's starting to dry up. You see how Bubba was going for it right there. Wasn't able to really go over on the downside. Lands on top of that jump, but going for a little extra. Davey Millsap's rider 188, just barely right around that top 5 position.
And you also see Matt Walker coming into play there. Great first moto. We'll see if he can land himself back on the overall podium again this week. And the riders kind of set up in single file. You see Josh Grant again using a really far outside line going into that section.
Your top 3 right now. James Stewart ahead of Nathan Ramsey, Josh Grant, Ivan Tedesco in the 4th spot. And Tedesco trying to get by Grant early. In 5th spot is now Davey Millsaps, 188 on the Suzuki.
And you see Josh Grant, he's been looking at different lines, and this time he dives to the inside, but maybe going to the outside or place where everybody else isn't, maybe trying to stay away from the ruts a little bit, because we know those tracks in California, especially Glen Helen, doesn't have a ton of ruts where he does a lot of riding.
In all kinds of racing, the general rule is if you're going to pass me, you're going to go by the long side, as we see Nathan really catching a lot of air. Nathan Ramsey, you make the guys go on the long side, but if you go inside, make a bobble, you can expect him gone because he will have a better drive on the outside lane.
And look at this, these guys going back and forth, a little outside in, and Tedesco trying to keep Davey Millsaps behind him, but not able to do it. Davey Millsaps moving up into 4th place.
Millsaps, the factory Suzuki rider number 188, closes in on fellow Rookie of the Year candidate Josh Grant, who's just in front of him. Grant looks to be, again, another podium candidate. Can he improve on that 3rd overall that he had, at Redbud, and finish 2nd here at Kenworthy?
Oh, right now, if you mix up the scores where it is right in the second. Oh, do you see Tedesco leaning through that rut, trying to keep it straight? We talked about cross-rate before. Maybe he thought he was going to do some cross-rate, but what I was saying is, if we finished right now, that kid, Josh Grant, would be in 2nd place overall if they finished just like this.
Davey Millsap leans it in. You can tell the track is starting to dry out, but, another thing is, when you have that hard tire for the starting area, that doesn't necessarily mean a great tire for the track. Conditions change throughout the event. You have to plan accordingly.
And Millsap's trying to make some work on Josh Grant. You saw him taking different lines in that rhythm section. Really run it here. We'll see if Millsaps airs it out. Oh, and now you see where he gets into a rut. He aired it out past that landing a little bit. Caught a rut a little bit funny and almost threw him. I mean, he could have ended up in the dirt.
Watch out for Davey Millsaps taking these outside lines. He's going to square it up. He said, he telegraphed that. I even saw that one coming, Cameron Steele.
How deep is that inside rut, too, that Josh Grant has to deal with? Davey Millsaps just goes right around the outside, and look at Josh Grant hopping out of the lines again. Again, the ruts maybe a little bit of a problem for this youngster who hasn't seen this track before.
And really no one's seen this track the way it is. Ivan Tedesco gets by Josh Grant. So Grant, with a good start, starting to drop back. You can see Bones there cheering on Ivan Tedesco with Pro Circuit, and Tedesco looks really good. I've been watching him for so long. He came out of New Mexico, lives in California now. He and his brother come up in the Southwest racing. This guy has so much talent. Now we're finally seeing him, reap the benefits. He's always seems to be in position to take a win.
Definitely maturing a bit and coming into grips with it. Josh Grant is looking hard at Tedesco again, but he's got another problem. The Boost Mobile Yamaha Troy bike of Mike Brown, who is our only other overall winner so far this season, other than James Stewart. He's on the prowl coming up there.
Brownlee taking that Redbud win, the veteran with the number 3, a former 125 motocross national champion. As Ivan Tedesco tries working his way up through the field, but it's still James Stewart in front. Welcome back to Kenworthy's. There's the man, the 250 national champion, Ricky Carmichael, and Jamie's with him right now. Jamie, what do you have?
Yeah, I see you standing out here during 125 Moto. You looking at anybody in particular?
Oh, I like to come out here and watch and see if I can learn from anybody, actually, and see if I can see a good race. But Bubba always pulls away, so it makes it boring. So I kind of got other friends out there that I like to cheer on and watch and see how they do. And I'm a fan as much as a racer.
And he's trying to keep that undefeated streak going as well in the 250cc class. There's J-Bone, Jeremy Albrecht. +10, that's a lovely sign right there, huh, Kevin?
It's good for them, +10. They're not unaccustomed to +30s and giving him a happy face for his lap time. So just giving him all the information he may need. You see James digging into that berm, and he switched up first moto, rocking the black gear. Second moto coming out yellow, so the dark mode and a little bit flashy the second time with the different styles of Fox gear. And I wonder if that says something about, his moods or picking different stuff, and it's the same result so far. In fact, all these guys, a lot of them run in yellow right there on the top. Not that there's any correlation to finishes or anything like that. Just pointing it out.
James's mood has to be very happy right now. A 2:05 lap time. You saw that just a moment ago. He's still running very quick, but charging hard behind him. Nathan Ramsey, Davey Millsaps, the rookie, going at the old veteran.
And Nate Ramsey, no stranger to wins, a 99 Supercross or 125 Supercross champion. He's won on everything he's raced. And Davey Millsap's a young gun, and he's giving this guy fits, and there he goes right on by. And Millsap seems to be really comfortable hanging it out in the ruts. And some guys need to pick the rut and get careful with it. Nate Ramsey's not a guy like that. He can just put it in and go, but Davey Millsaps has the speed for him today.
Oh, look at this. Davey Millsaps on the outside, Ramsey to the right, number 25 on the Honda, and Davey definitely has something for him. I do not expect Nathan Ramsey to back down, though. This guy didn't win that 125 championship for nothing. He is very fast. Honda thinks so. Gave him the factory ride. And Davey Millsaps has his work cut out for him because Nene's not going to give up. Ramsey with the third in Southwick. He has 4 top 5s on the year. The win and second place is eluding him, though.
Yeah, and he'd like to get to the win, but everybody would like to get to the win. This guy, James Stewart, you see him seat bounce in that section. And that's a lapper next to him there, Steve Boniface from the Moto World Racing.com team.
When he has a 10-second, advantage halfway through the race, the other riders have to be smiling, as you kind of alluded to. Usually that's been 30+ during the race. They're actually, are they starting to make up some of that ground?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You think he may be backing it down then?
Maybe a little bit. And, this track doesn't have a lot of, it has a ton of obstacles, but it's not just a hang it out and go track. So, maybe they're having a little bit of a better chance sticking with them. And, they are having to pick their lines pretty carefully. Even James has to get a wheel on that rut and make sure it hangs together. And maybe it's making it tough for him to pull away from the guys. But as we saw in the first moto, best lap times were over 3 seconds faster than everybody else.
Yeah, that is amazing. When you have the best riders in the world here in the U.S. trying to win the U.S. National Championship, to be 3 seconds faster than the nearest competitor, it's pretty much unprecedented. I don't know if Ricky really had that kind of a following when he came into the 125.
And I totally agree. The best riders in the world are here racing America. Stefan Everts might have a beef with that, but the Motocross the Nations still in the lurch, so to speak. American team not committed to it. Ricky Carmichael not going to be able to go. He had an open letter to the fans. He will not be racing in Holland.
But look at this battle going on between Davey Millsaps in second, Ramsey, and now Tedesco in the fray.
Yep, and the 130 bike is a lapper. Let's watch Tedesco. This jump field section. Whoa, Tedesco airing out that section. Nate Ramsey wasn't able to do it, maybe because of the lapper or he didn't want to, but Tedesco's pulled up right alongside of him. Now the lapper's a factor. Tedesco and out, and then Dyson between them, threading the needle. So a great job. Tedesco, like we said, the Supercross champ this year on the West Coast, not afraid to mix it up in tight quarters.
Can you believe that pass that he put on Nathan Ramsey right there? Nathan was kind of being a little tentative with the lap rider in front of him. You can't be tentative in motocross. I still cannot believe it was like a slingshot. He just shot by it.
Yeah, and Ivan just rocking it. And the confidence he's been building, it's only going to get better going forward for Ivan. I think he's definitely one of the great, bright hopes for the 250 class as well. I mean, a lot of people talking about James Stewart, and we know Ivan's going to ride 125s again next year. But the year after that, I think he's a real threat to be one of those top 3 players on the 250s.
Now let's see if he can make up time. James Stewart is out in front. Second spot, Davey Millsaps. Third is now Ivan Tedesco. Fourth is Nathan Ramsey, but they're all chasing James Bubba Stewart, and there's his dad, Jamie.
Big James, what do you have to say for your son today? He's amazing.
He's on it today. He's definitely on it. We got a little point to prove to a lot of people out here.
What point is that? I really don't understand, because he is the most amazing thing we've seen in this class, obviously, since Ricky. What do you guys have to prove?
You know, it's a lot of smack talk that a lot of people say that James give up. You know, he quit because his bike broke and they didn't want to put in it. Those guys don't know nothing about James. He's no quitter at all.
Cameron, you know the phrase, don't hate, congratulate. Those guys are crazy.
Calling out James Stewart is just a total buffoon move, and these guys are still dicing it out. Third place Tedesco, and still being chased by Ramsey. Ramsey does not want to give up.
No, he doesn't, but giving up the ghost there is the Kawasaki, the Pro Circuit Kawasaki raises his hand. Ivan Tedesco is 4th DNF, has broke 4 times this year, and he has to be disappointed. Ivan Tedesco.
Oh, a little frustration there.
Yeah, well, what do you expect? His bike breaks, he can't ride it, that's what he's paid to do. We'll see if James Stewart can stay out in front. Back to the FMF Nationals at Kenworthy's Motocross Park. I'm Robbie Floyd with Cameron Steele and problems for Davey Millsap.
Oh, the 188 bike. Trying to start it. We talk about stall in the 4-stroke. We don't know if that's all the problem is. You see him making sure that it's in neutral and frustration.
Yeah, he doesn't know what happens there. You've talked about it so many times throughout the year. The 4-stroke's hard to start. He's in a deep rut. Maybe he did. Maybe he just chugged it to a start. It happens with those 4-strokes.
Well, this now developed into a battle for second, and you never know with Millsaps. He could have killed the bike. I mean, we're towards the end of the moto. These guys just ride the wheels off of them.
Make note to Matt Walker, the guy who said he was going to play conservative, is now in the picture, mixing it up with Josh Grant and Nathan Ramsey. There's Ramsey, 25, just behind him. The 386 of Grant, and here comes a hard-charging Matt Walker. He is on a mission.
And Matt Walker's talked about how he's being a little bit more conservative, but we know he can hang it out. He will bang to get positions if he needs to. Just a great all-around rider, so maybe now we'll see that hang it out from Walker.
Matty goes to the inside, and the pass over Josh Grant. Matt Walker has worked his way up through the field. Now he trails only 2 riders, James Stewart, and just in front of him, the 25 of Nathan Ramsey. That 4-stroke is turning some quick laps. You see Ramsey's not backing down by any means. Neither is Josh Grant. But remember, Davey Millsaps was in front of this crew, and Jamie, I believe she has him now.
What happened?
I don't know. I went on the corner and bike just shut off.
Bike problems again?
I don't know. He got it started after about 150 kicks. But, you know, I didn't stall the bike. It just totally shut off.
How frustrating.
2 weekends in a row, you know.
Great first moto and bad second moto. We've got 5 more rounds to go, Davey.
Yeah, well, 5 more rounds and then I cut it now.
Sorry to see Davey Millsaps going for another podium overall today. Unfortunately, bike problems have got him sidelined once again for 2 weekends in a row.
A somber moment for Davey Millsaps. Cameron, you and I both know the Kawasaki and Suzuki 4-stroke are the same bike, and we saw Tedesco already go down.
Well, you know, it's tough to say about the machines. And you can kill any bike out there, and this is just such a brutal sport. James Stewart killed everybody and did a heel clicker and just continues this section.
Hey, that's how freestyle started right there. Exactly, just like that.
Yeah, a guy by the name of Gordon Ward coming with the heel clicker, the very first one ever done, and James not totally letting up, still risking it with some sections there, and just the master of the dirt bike. This section right here where he seat bounces and gets up on top of that next section there. See, the other guy's not able to do it on the inside.
Yeah. I think I'll just take the low road here. Our closing moments here in Moto 2 of Kenworthy's. And yeah, it's all fist pumps, hands up in the air. James Stewart going for another win, his 13th win on the year if he can keep it on two wheels.
Well, he's got to keep hands on the bars, and look at the manual rolling out there. And the action.
It's official, 13 Moto wins in the 125cc class for 2004. And James Bubba Stewart is all smiles. Take your pictures, ladies and gentlemen.
And the overall win to him as well. And James